The Indian Sports Network is now on the air. Good evening, everyone. This is Kenny Masterson coming to you live from Clopton High School in Pike County. And tonight we are going to see the third place game between your Elsberry Lady Indians and the Van Far Lady Indians. So we're going to have Lady Indians playing against Lady Indians. I'm hoping I don't get hit by an arrow anywhere. We just watched consolation games, Silex versus Louisiana, and Silex came out on top of that one, 47-31. So the fifth-ranked Silex Lady Owls defeated the seventh-ranked Louisiana Lady Bulldogs and took consolation. Later on tonight, after this game, will be the first-place game between the number one ranked Monroe City, I believe they're the Panthers, and the number 2 ranked Clopton Hawks. So while we won't be broadcasting that game, I'm going to stick around myself to watch it because it ought to be a pretty good game. But that's not why we're here right now. We're here now to see your Elsberry Lady Indians take on the Van Far Lady Indians. Elsberry's record this year is 7-4. And Van Far is 4-6. These two teams have met once this year on December the 18th. I was not there, so I didn't see the game. But Elsberry did come out on top 50-35 on that. So history says that Elsberry is ahead in this series right here. Elsberry is the number 3 ranked team in this tournament. Van Far is the number 4 seeded team. So, I guess I'll go over how they got to this point. Van Far, their first round game was against Silex, and they won that game 51-36. And then on this past Wednesday night, Van Far played Monroe City and came up on the losing side of that, 71-40. That put them in tonight's third place game. Elsberry, in their first round back in December 29th, they played Winfield and came out on top 48-22. Then Wednesday night, they played Clopton, and they were on the losing side of that game 52-25. And that put them in this third place game with Van Far. So at this time, so get ahead of the official announcement of the roster, the starting 5 anyway, I will go over the rosters of the teams as they were given to me. Playing for the Van Far Lady Indians, number 1, a senior, Jordan Garner. Number 3, a sophomore, Annalyn Colwell. Number 5, a junior, Aubrey Bungie. Number 10, a freshman, Devin Keller. Number 15, a junior, Elise Jensen. Number 21, a freshman, Haley Baskett. Number 23, a senior, Jael Jennings. I guess it's Jael or Jaylee. Not really sure. Should have asked about that. And number 24, a sophomore, Panna Conaway. And number 34, a freshman, Abigail Hunn. Van Far Lady Indians are coached by Kelly Borchert and Wes Roden. Now playing tonight, we're on the roster tonight for your Elsberry Lady Indians. Number 2, a sophomore, Tanisha Henderson, affectionately known as Tiny. Number 4, a freshman, Peyton Robinson. Number 5, a junior, Sophia Vaughn. Number 10, a senior, Claire Henry. Number 11, a freshman, Ariel Rios. Number 12, a freshman, Kylie Kinsler. Number 14, a senior, Abby Jenkins. Number 15, a freshman, Josie Horn. Number 20, a senior, Kelsey Flaster. Number 24, a senior, Tess Weekly. Number 25, a senior, Megan Hagemeyer. Number 31, a senior, Kaija Clark. Number 32, a sophomore, Emma Flaster. Number 41, a sophomore, Adrian Ryan. Number 43, a sophomore, Tyra Henderson. Head coach is Carrie Koch-Dowell, and assistant coach is Brittany Koch-Dowell. The team is managed by Douglas Horn and Mackenzie Pruitt. Also want to mention the cheerleaders who are here for every game, boys and girls both, and they are out there tirelessly trying to pump up the crowd. We have Jade Cooper, Haley King, Madison Steen, Isabel Bayless, Jordan Sir, Mercedes Laskowski, Briley King, Melody Hall, Gracie Mahurin, and Kara Rose King. The cheer coaches is Carrie Braden and Faye Mays. We've got a little over 4 minutes remaining till this game actually gets going, till the opening tip-off. So, looks like the referees and the captains have met out in the middle. So I'm sure we're going to get ready now for the starting lineups. I'll see if I can sneak a commercial in here real quick before we do that.
Since 1995, Heartland Restoration has specialized in all types of masonry repairs, concrete restoration, above and below grade waterproofing, snow removal, epoxy joint repair or replacement, and all types of floor coatings. Our mission is to serve you with over 35 years of experience, someone you can trust to do the job right the first time. If you have a project, big or small, please give us a call. Heartland Restoration, 314-993-6377.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, new technology improves our lives. We all know that, but when it comes to your money, wouldn't you just as soon deal with real people rather than recordings and electronics fingerprinting of the mega banks? We put technology to work so we can have more time for you. We're your community bank. People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Everybody knows that high school sports generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders committed to strengthening communities right here in Missouri. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents. Studies show that participation in sports, along with other extracurricular activities, is one of the best ways to teach leadership, cooperation, accountability, and other invaluable life skills. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Encourage the young people you know to get in the game. When you do, you'll be helping them get ahead in life. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Are you familiar with or have you experienced water damage in your business or home? Even if the damage is small, repairs can be very costly, not to mention the unpleasant sight and smell of the damaged area. It's okay. Heartland Restoration is here to help. Give us a chance on your next project. Call 314-993-6377 today.
Okay, we are back. And they are getting ready now to do the starting lineups. And there was the buzzer telling them to do the starting lineups. Now we need the referees to tell them to do the starting lineups, and we need the announcer. Elsberry will be in the red tonight as the visiting team. They just said this was the consolation game, and that was incorrect. This is the third place game. Starting lineup for Elsberry Lady Indians. Number 10, Claire Henry. Number 12, Kylie Kinsler. Number 15, Josie Horn. Number 24, Tess Weekly. And number 25, Megan Hagemeyer. There's your starting lineup for your hometown Elsberry Indians. Now starting for the Van Far Lady Indians. Number 1, Jordan Garner. Number 10, Devin Keller. Number 15, Elise Jensen. Number 21, Haley Basket. And number 23, Jail Jennings. He just pronounced it jail, so that's what I'm going to stay with. Maybe he doesn't know any more than I do. So now we have the starters out there. And I'm sure jumping for Elsberry is going to be Claire Henry. Let's see who's jumping for Van Far. That'll be number 23, Jail Jennings. So they are ready for the opening tip-off. And the ball goes to Elsberry. Tess Weekly. Try that again. Tess Weekly with it. She gets the ball inside. Tried to get it over to Kylie Kinsler, but pass was broken up. I'm going to pre-apologize tonight. I'm back on the regular Wi-Fi. And so we'll see how often this video freezes up. Meanwhile, Tess Weekly is at the line. Her first shot is good. Elsberry draws first blood in this game. That foul was on number 23, Jail Jennings. It's her first foul of the game. Second shot is good. Elsberry with an early 2-point lead. Van Far getting it up the court, and then they pull it back out between the circles. Elsberry putting on like a 1-2-2 defense. Van Far with a little bit of trouble penetrating it right now. But they do get it inside, and now there's a scrum for the ball, and it's a jump ball. That will go to Van Far on the alternating possessions. The ball into Haley Basket. Here's a three-point shot. No good. That was Jail Jennings. But they come up with their own rebound. Here's a shot from underneath, and it is good. Score is tied up 2-2. Van Far starting off with the press. Elsberry got through that good enough, but Megan Hagemeyer traveled. Turns the ball over to Van Far. Tied score 2-2. And she dribbled that out. That was Haley Basket. Dribbled that off of her foot, and they called it a kick, and that goes back to Elsberry. Kinsler gets the ball into Hagemeyer. She gets it over to Josie Horn. Now Tess Weekly has it out between the circles. Van Far looks like they're in a man-to-man defense. Should it be called man-to-man? There's Tess Weekly up, and she missed everything. Ball was knocked out of bounds by Van Far, so Elsberry comes up with it. Kinsler with the ball out of bounds. Gets it over to, there we go. There was Claire Henry with the 10-footer. Takes the score 4-2, Elsberry. And Tess Weekly knocked it out of her hands. Comes up the ball and taking it up fast. Megan Hagemeyer right underneath, and 2 points. And Van Far is having a lot of trouble dribbling underneath. They can't seem to get the ball in. And the ball's fumbled around, and they're calling a jump ball on there. That ball should go to Elsberry now. Van Far with a pretty good press, and they're kind of backing it off a little bit now. I guess it's not so much of a press as it is a man-to-man defense. Hagemeyer brought it up court, but got it back to Tess Weekly, who's out on the far wing. There was Kinsler between the circles. Claire Henry, and back to Tess Weekly. They're taking their time and trying to get the ball down deep inside. Oh, and they called Hagemeyer for another travel. Wow, did not see that one. Okay, coming in for Elsberry is the 2 Henderson sisters, Tyra and Tanisha. And Jordan Garner tried to drive it in, couldn't get there, but she got the ball back out. And there's a shot from underneath, and she drew a foul. Who was that shot? That was Haley Baskett. Shot from underneath, drew the foul. That foul is on Tyra Henderson. Her first shot is up, and it's good. So that takes the score to 6-5 in favor of Elsberry. Ball is into Hagemeyer. Now they give it to Tiny, and she brings it up the court. That girl is not afraid to dribble the ball. Tess Weekly looking back at the bench for some instructions. Gets it over to Tyra, into Hagemeyer, and rolls out. I hope that's not a fortune of things to come. There's a 10-foot shot, and no good, but Van Far gets their own rebound. What do we have here? Stoppage in play. Okay, I missed that, and now we have Kylie Kinsler coming in for Josie Horn. I'm sorry, for Claire Henry. I don't know why I get those 2 girls mixed up just because they look alike. And that play was broken up by Van Far, but it does stay with Elsberry. And here's Tess Weekly bringing it up the court. Gets across the half-court line. And there's Tiny, gets it into her sister, and she's got the shot up good and draws the foul. Shot is up, and it bounces off the front of the rim. Van Far brings it up the court. There's a shot from 15 feet out, and it's good. That was Jordan Garner. That takes the score 8-7 in favor of Elsberry. There's Tiny Henderson, and they called the ball being turned over. I guess it was close enough to that. Try to adjust this a little bit more so we don't look like we're 150 feet away. Here's a three-point shot off the front of the rim, but Van Far gets the rebound. Now a little 5-foot shot up and no good, but she does draw the foul. That three-point shot attempt was by Devin Keller. Now we have Haley Basket on the line. Foul was on Hegemeyer, her first. Free throw is off the front of the rim and no good. Still gets another shot, chance to tie the game at 8. Hegemeyer's out of the game. Second shot is no good. Claire Henry got the rebound, gets it back to Tess Weekly, who brings it up the court. Long pass up for a fast break, and Kylie Kinsler could not handle the pass. So Van Far gets the ball, bringing it down. No pressure at all by Elsberry at this time. Cross-court pass, back and forth out on the perimeter. Jennings, and there was an over and back on Van Far. Jael Jennings and Panaconaway were playing pitch and catch there. All right, Tess Weekly with the ball, bringing it slowly in. Weekly back with the ball at the head of the key. Gets the ball to Tiny Henderson. She takes a shot, and it's good. 10 feet away from the baseline, and a shot is good. And there's Jael Jennings. She gets the ball over to the baseline and then kicks the ball, and it's, well, maybe she didn't kick the ball. I thought she did. Apparently it was an Elsberry player that kicked the ball because Van Far is maintaining control of it. Three-pointer no good, and Elsberry comes up with the rebound. Weekly's taking it up, gets it over to Tanisha, not Tanisha, Tyra. There's a three-pointer by Tess Weekly. Just keeps adding to that 1,000 points she has already. There's a long two-pointer. That was Haley Basket with a long two-point shot. Van Far with pretty good pressure on their end. Tess Weekly getting it up the court quickly. She was just taking it up there herself. Kind of fell. She's kind of favoring one of her legs. I hope she is not hurt. All right, it's back out on the wing to Tyra Henderson. Now Weekly has it again. She gets it down low to Claire Henry. She put the ball up. The shot was no good, but she does draw the foul. That foul was on Jordan Garner, her first of the game. First free throw is good for Claire Henry. Second shot is no good. And Van Far comes up with the rebound. They've got the ball out on the perimeter. Gets it into the baseline, but there's nothing there. Oh, and they called a foul there. Who's that on? That is on Claire Henry. That's her first foul of the game. Let's hope we don't start getting into foul trouble. 10 seconds left in the first quarter, and Van Far's called for walking. 10.8 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and Tiny Henderson's called for walking on the throw-in. That takes us down to 9 seconds. Van Far will have the ball underneath their own basket. They tried to get the ball down low, and a lot of fumbling around with the ball. And after all of that, it's going to be Elsberry's ball with 2.2 seconds in the first quarter. And there's Tiny Henderson taking it up. And do they give it to her? Yes, they do. Fast break layup for Tiny, and she got it in. So at the end of the first quarter, the score is your Elsberry Lady Indians 16 and Van Far 9. Let's take a break.
Ever wonder where your hard-earned money goes when you deposit it? It stays here, at home, to help make living here what we've all come to expect. We've got everything the mega banks do, but we've made a commitment to our community. So when you're looking for the right bank, see People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker at our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about. We all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
And we are back for the second quarter of this ball game. Van Far with the ball out on the perimeter. The way they're passing it around, they are on a mission here. They get the ball up and just keep getting their own offensive rebounds, but finally one bounced on the line, so Elsberry gets the ball. Elsberry with a 16-9 lead. Weekly coming up the court. Gets the ball out. That was Kellesley Flaster. Missed on her three-point attempt. And Weekly seems to be shaken up a little bit. Let's hope she's okay. Tiny Henderson coming in for her. Needless to say, Tess Weekly is a key player for this Elsberry team. And the ball's knocked around, and we have a jump ball that stays with. No, I'm wrong. It doesn't stay with. That's right. Van Far had the ball at the beginning of the quarter, so Elsberry's ball. And here's Tiny Henderson coming up the court. Again, like I said, that girl is not afraid to dribble that ball into traffic. I still don't have this camera adjusted very well. Kylie Kinsler with the ball on the outside, gets it into Tiny Henderson. Almost choked right there. So if you hear sirens in the distance, it's them coming to get me. Megan Hegemeyer underneath for two. Cross-court pass for Van Far. And that foul is going to be on Josie Horn. That's her second foul. And we have almost a wholesale exchange coming in for Elsberry. See, coming in is Tyra Henderson, Claire Henry, and Tess Weekly. And Tess Weekly stole that ball right out of the air And she's just going to take it right on in, and the ball will not drop for her. And coming up with the rebound was Tyra Henderson, but she bounced a couple times, and that was a travel. So Van Far brings it up court again. Still no pressure from Elsberry. There's a three-point attempt for Van Far, and it's good. That's Hannah Conaway for 3 points. Takes the score 18-12. Elsberry with a 16-point lead, and they just called Tiny for a double dribble. I wasn't paying close attention, so I can't voice my opinion on it. I do know that my voice is tickly, though, and that's not a good thing for broadcasting. I'm sitting here living on Hall's Mentholyptus. So if you hear any clicking around on the microphone, it's probably the Hall's clicking on my teeth. And Tess Weekly just stole that ball right out of her hands. And Kylie Kinsler could not get control of it, but she threw it back, and it went off of a Van Far player, so Elsberry keeps the ball. They throw it in from underneath, and there was Tyra Henderson right underneath, but she fumbled the ball, and the shot was blocked. So we'll go back and do the whole thing again. Weekly throwing the ball in from underneath, gets it into Tyra Henderson. She passes it off to Tiny Henderson. Still back out on the baseline. Now it's underneath to Tyra, and there was Claire Henry with the ball underneath, and she chose to pass it back out. Tess gets it back underneath to Claire Henry, and there's 2 points. Van Far trying to get the ball in deep, and they can't do it. Van Far just called for 3 points in the lane. 3 points. 3 seconds in the lane. And there's a long pass for Tiny Henderson. She's up for 2 points, and it didn't go in. Now here's an aggressive move by Van Far. Could have easily been an offensive foul there on Van Far, but they didn't call that. They did call a foul on Claire Henry. That's her second. First shot is up, and it's good. Makes the score 20-13. Claire Henry's coming out, and Megan Hegemeyer is coming back in. Trading height for height. Second shot is no good, and Hegemeyer's up with the rebound. And Van Far is all over her. And here's a long pass for Tyra Henderson, and her long two-pointer is good off the backboard. And that ball is knocked around, and there's Tanisha coming up with it. Oh, and they called her for walking. So that puts the ball right back in Van Far's hand. 4:39 remaining in the first half, 22-13. See what they call here. They call that foul on Tiny Henderson. That's her first. Be a two-shot free throw. We have Jael Jennings at the line. First shot is up, and it's good. Second shot is up, and it's good. 22-15, 4:35 remaining in the half. Van Far with a lot of pressure. Tyra Henderson bringing it up the court. She gets across the timeline. Weekly turned around to get some instructions on how they want to handle this. Weekly with the ball again, gets it underneath to Megan Hagemeyer. She puts it up and it goes in. 2 points, Hagemeyer. 24-15. And here's Josie Horn getting ready to come back in. Very aggressive moves there on Van Far. That was Jael Jennings driving hard to the basket, but she hit a brick wall. There's Tiny Henderson coming out. Cross-court passes going on here. Looks like I figured they were setting up for three-pointer. And Van Far tried to save the out-of-bounds ball, but knocked it out of bounds anyway. Ball's coming in to Tyra Henderson. She gets it back out to Tess Weekly. She's out between the circles. It's a ball at the free throw line to Kylie Kinsler. Back out to Josie Horn, over to Weekly again. And that pass just went right into Van Far's hands. Tried to get it in deep. There's Van Far with and they call that one an offensive foul. That was on number 1, Jordan Garner. Second foul for her tonight. 3:06 remaining in the first half. Here's Weekly with the ball. And that ball is stolen by Van Far as Jael Jennings. She gets it in for 2 points. Here's Kylie Kinsler with it. Pulls up her dribble, gets it over to Tyra Henderson. She gets in deep to Megan Hagemeyer, and she was not prepared for that pass. And that ball went out of bounds off of her. So Van Far back with it. 24-17, Elsberry over Van Far. It's a 7-point lead, but it's a world's smallest 7-point lead. There was Jennings on the outside. She gets it over to Keller. That was broken up, went off of Elsberry player and stays with Van Far. Jennings with the ball outside, gets it in. Hard drive to the basket, passes it off, and misses everything from 10 feet away. And here's Weekly coming up the court. She gets over on the far corner to Kinsler, puts it back out of the top of the key to Weekly. And they called her for traveling. I guess her foot slid on the floor. And Kelsey Flaster's coming in for Kylie Kinsler at this time. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Cross-court pass there, and Megan Hagemeyer tried to climb the Van Far player. And that's her second foul. So she's coming out, and Claire Henry's going in. Can't afford to let any of them get into much foul trouble. Well, now here's Claire Henry coming back out, and looked like Tyra Henderson going in for her. Ball was up and no good. And here's Tess Weekly trying to get the ball up the court. She gets it over to Flaster. Gets the ball back out to Tiny Henderson. She's between the circles. Gets the ball in deep to Tyra Henderson. She has no place to go, so she just takes it back out to Weekly. No need to force the issue. There's Tiny Henderson doing what she does best, dribbling, and as soon as I say that, she gets called for turning the ball over, which she did. So Van Far is taking it up the court now. They're driving hard, and see what they call here. I think they're calling a foul. Only on who? Oh, they called a jump ball. That could have been, that foul could have gone either way. So they ended up calling a jump ball. And on alternating possession, that ball goes to Van Far. Devin Keller throws it in. And on the ensuing scrum there, that ball stays with Van Far. There, the ball going up, and there was the foul called on one. That is Jordan Garner. That is her third foul of this game with just less than a minute remaining in this first half. She's already got 3 fouls. Weekly's bringing it up the court fast. She passed it over to Peyton Robinson, and she was not ready for that at all. And so just threw it out of bounds. That's why I said that 7-point lead is a very small 7-point lead. 40 seconds remaining in the first half. Van Far with the ball. And that pass was broken up. And Tyra Henderson came up with the ball, and she was fouled. That foul was on Haley Baskett. That's her first foul. That's 16 fouls for Van Far, 7 for Elsberry. But with only half a minute to go, it's not a big deal yet. Tess Weekly had the ball stolen from her, and she just stole it right back. And while she was trying to get up off the floor, Elsberry called a bench timeout. Let's get a break.
People's Bank and Trust knows that every minute of your day counts, so it's good to have a few time savers on your side. Take internet banking, for example. It allows you to bank from home rather than having to make an extra trip to the bank just to check your balance, transfer funds, or view recent transactions. You can even pay your bills online, eliminating a trip to the post office for stamps. Best of all, People's Bank and Trust offers all of this free of charge. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net and sign up today. Just another example of hometown banking the way it should be. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And we are back for the final 16 seconds of this first half. There was Josie Horn taking it up, and rebound by Tyra Henderson, 2 points. And final shot by Van Far's Elise Jensen. And it was no good. So at the end of the first half, we have a score of Elsberry 26, Van Far 17. We will be back for the second half.
Fans, when you attend a high school game, do you stand at attention during the national anthem? Do you cheer a good play by the opposing team? If your team loses, do you take it well in stride? If you have answered yes to any of those questions, you are showing positive examples of sportsmanship. Don't forget that when you attend high school events, young eyes are watching you for examples of acceptable behavior. By making a conscientious effort, you'll be helping our students grow into better citizens. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
Hey, hon, what are you doing up so early?
Oh, I'm just getting ready to take care of some stuff with the bank.
The bank? I surely hope you're going to get dressed first. You get some pretty weird luck showing up in your robe and fuzzy slippers.
I'm not going to the bank. I'm doing it all right here from home using People's Bank and Trust online banking and bill pay service. I can check our account balances, transfer money, make a loan payment, and even pay bills, all from the comfort of my pajamas. Best of all, it's free.
Banking in your pajamas. Now, if we could only get the grocery store to deliver.
Start banking online today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and spectators leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how history will remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop better citizens in our communities for tomorrow. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
You're listening to the Indian Sports Network, courtesy of the Elsberry Democrat. Log on to www.elsberrydemocrat.com today.
Tonight's game is not only a competitive contest between these two schools, but it's also an educational experience for the students involved. Because high school activities are about learning life values, your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association remind everyone to do their part in keeping our hometown sports a positive experience for everyone. When you attend your next game, do your part to help rekindle the spirit of citizenship by showing good sportsmanship. You'll be teaching a positive lesson, and you'll be preserving a proud tradition in the state of Missouri.
People's Bank and Trust invites everyone to come to the game, the high school sports games that are going on right now. All area teams have put a great amount of effort and time in to perfect their skills, and they are ready to play. Support the community schools and students by cheering them on to a great season of games. People's Bank and Trust proudly supports the area teams and looks forward to seeing you at each and every game.
Whether it's balls and strikes, fouls, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know that they would never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we can teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker at our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about. We all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Elsberry Pharmacy and Medicine Shop in Troy, we know what a pharmacy is meant to be. We take the time to know you and your healthcare needs. Most prescriptions are filled in 15 minutes or less, and we offer free local delivery and a friendly and knowledgeable staff to answer your questions. Better service, better value, better healthcare. Locally owned and operated and proud to be your local independent pharmacies in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at medicineshoprx.com. Hi, my name is Jerry Callahan, pharmacist and owner of the medicine shops in Troy and Elsberry Pharmacy. We strive every day to bring better service, better value, and better health care to our friends in our communities. We want to say thank you for your support, and we're proud to be your local independent pharmacies in Elsberry and Troy. Visit us online at medicineshoprx.com.
Since 1995, Heartland Restoration has specialized in all types of masonry repairs, concrete restoration, above and below grade waterproofing, snow removal, epoxy joint repair or replacement, and all types of floor coatings. Our mission is to serve you with over 35 years of experience, someone you can trust to do the job right the first time. If you have a project, big or small, please give us a call. Heartland Restoration. 314-993-6377.
Here at People's Bank and Trust, new technology improves our lives. We all know that. But when it comes to your money, wouldn't you just as soon deal with real people rather than recordings and electronics fingerprinting of the mega banks? We put technology to work so we can have more time for you. We're your community bank. People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Everybody knows that high school sports generate suspense, excitement, and drama.
They also generate higher grade point averages, stronger work habits, and greater self-esteem.
Everybody knows that high school sports give us more value for our entertainment dollar.
They also give us leaders, committed to strengthening communities right here in Missouri. The true value of playing sports in school can't be measured in wins and losses or dollars and cents. Studies show that participation in sports, along with other extracurricular activities, is one of the best ways to teach leadership, cooperation, accountability, and other invaluable life skills. Don't just stand on the sidelines. Encourage the young people you know to get in the game. When you do, you'll be helping them get ahead in life. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. These days, the concept of value matters more than ever, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a better value than high school sports. Extracurricular activities, including sports, make up about 2% of the budget for a typical Missouri high school. In return, participation in sports promotes citizenship and sportsmanship. Sports also instill a sense of community pride and teach lifelong lessons about cooperation and self-discipline. They encourage physical fitness. They produce community leaders. By offering so many benefits to the community for such a small percentage of a school's overall budget, it's easy to see why high school sports are one of the best bargains around. The real cost would come from not having them at all. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Are you familiar with or have you experienced water damage in your business or home? Even if the damage is small, repairs can be very costly, not to mention the unpleasant sight and smell of the damaged area. It's okay, Heartland Restoration is here to help. Give us a chance on your next project. Call 314-993-6377 today.
Ever wonder where your hard-earned money goes when you deposit it? It stays here, at home, to help make living here what we've all come to expect. We've got everything the mega banks do, but we've made a commitment to our community. So when you're looking for the right bank, see People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
All right, we are back. Getting ready to start the third quarter of this game. And here's Tess Weekly with the ball. Long pass in. There's Megan Hegemeyer with 2 points, all alone under the basket. Takes a score 28-17, 11-point lead for Elsberry. Tess Weekly dove for that ball, but couldn't quite save it. I'd still like to get this just a little bit closer. And here's cross-court pass to Van Far. They're still having trouble. Oh, geez. Getting ready to say they're having trouble getting the ball inside. And there was Josie Horn trying to steal the ball and ended up fouling instead. That's her second foul of the game. There they got the ball down to 10 feet away. Tess Weekly stole that pass right out from him. So now Weekly's out. She's in the near corner now, the near wing. Gets it over to Kylie Kinsler. That pass was broken up by Haley Baskett. That's one of the names I've said a lot tonight, Haley Baskett and Jael Jennings. Two of the key players for Van Far. Megan Hegemeyer having trouble holding on to the handle of that ball. Gets it back out to Horn, and they take it all the way back out to Tess Weekly. She's out between the circles. Now here's Kylie Kinsler. And Megan Hegemeyer is like she has oil on her hands or something. And she was caught traveling. There's a pass to Haley Baskett. She tried to drive and it wasn't there and passed it back out, but the pass got away. All right, Van Far putting a bit of a press on. And Tess Weekly just walked right through that, but couldn't get the pass over. Couldn't get the pass over to Claire Henry. It was broken up by Van Far. And that pass was broken up by Elsberry, and Megan Hegemeyer came up with it, and it didn't slip off her hands that time. Weekly's bringing it up and slows up at the head of the key, backs it out between the circles. Passes it over to the far wing. Gets the ball inside to Claire Henry. Back out to Josie Horn. Off the backboard, no good, but Megan Hegemeyer comes up with the rebound, and hers goes back out. It went out, and then Kylie Kinsler had one from right underneath. Could not get either one of them to drop. So Van Far takes over, have the length of the court to go. Hannah Conaway to throw it in to Jael Jennings. There's a cross-court pass over to, that was over to Haley Baskett. And now the fight for the ball. I believe it's going to stay with Van Far, and yes, it does. There's the ball into, the ball was into Haley Baskett, and it bounced around about 300 times before it came out. And there was a foul on Haley Baskett. That's her second foul of this game. So now here's Tiny Henderson bringing it up the court. She gets the ball over to Josie Horn, gets it down deep to Megan Hegemeyer. She put it back out to Tess Weekly, and her shot did not go in. Meanwhile, Van Far came up with that rebound. And there was what could be a charging foul, but it wasn't. That was a blocking foul on Tess Weekly. That's her first foul of this game, unlike the other night where she had 4. Hey, Van Far got the ball deep inside. That was Jordan Garner, but they could not get the basket from right underneath. And here's Tess Weekly bringing it up. She's taking it right in, gets her own rebound, and it did not fall. They have got to find a way to get those baskets from underneath. Those are just as important as the free throws. Here's a three-point shot That was Panaconaway. And now, long, fast break, but Tiny held that one up. And now Megan Hagemeyer, now she made him pay. She put the ball up, and 2 points for Megan Hagemeyer. That makes the score 30-17. That ball was stolen, and it was stolen and thrown underneath to, who was that? Okay, that was Jordan Garner from underneath. That apparently was not a shooting foul. Well, it had to be if they're going to the free throw line. No, they're not going to the free throw line. So it was not a shooting foul. But that was 3 fouls now on Megan Hagemeyer. So Van Farr with the ball up, no good, and Claire Henry with the rebound. She got the ball to Tyra Henderson, who got the ball over to Tiny Henderson. Now Josie Horn on the near wing. There's Claire Henry from the free throw line, no good, and Van Farr with the rebound, but that was Emma Flaster that came up with the rebound right on the line, but she obviously touched the line with either the ball or her foot. Meanwhile, Van Farr has the ball out on the perimeter. They'd like to get it inside. A lot of bumping and grinding going on in there. She thought about a three-pointer and decided against it. Now what are we calling? It's got to be against. Oh, the foul was on Claire Henry. That's 3 for her. So we got a couple of tall girls for Elsberry and a little bit of foul trouble. 2:40 remaining in the third quarter. So here comes Peyton Robinson in and Claire Henry out. Because I got to play a few minutes without her. And there was a 15-foot shot from Haley Basket. Makes the score 30-19. 11-point lead for Elsberry. And once again, that is a very small 11-point lead. And they just called something. I don't know if it was traveling or what that they called on her. I was looking down at my screen. Looked like it was trying to freeze up. And there was Jordan Garner driving the baseline. And she was fouled by Peyton Robinson. That's her first. So Jordan Garner at the line with 2 shots. First one is up and good. 10-point lead. I guess I really ought to phrase that cuts it to a 10-point lead for Elsberry. She's back up with her second shot. It's up and it's good. That cuts it to a 9-point lead. Now here's Josie Horn with the ball. Going to take it up, and she loses control of it. There's 21. That is Haley Basket with the ball, and all right. That would have been a jump ball. Would have been a jump ball, but Elsberry managed to get the timeout. So let's take a break.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Missouri's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, Studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Missouri State High School Activities Association and the Missouri Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back. And there's a long pass up for Peyton Robinson. She's up and misses her layup. Tyra Henderson was there, and she couldn't get it to drop. Again, I will say, those in-the-paint shots are so important. And there's Haley Basket up for a 10-footer, no good. Peyton Robinson gets the ball over to Tiny Henderson, and her pass was over the head of Tyra Henderson. These girls need to settle down. Like I said, that 9-point lead is extremely small, 9 points. Really some heavy pressure being put on by Elsberry right now defensively. And Tiny Henderson just took that ball right out of her hand. And as she comes up with 15-foot shot, and it was no good. Now we have a fast break for Van Far, but Emma Flaster got back there and broke it up. There was a 15-foot shot for Van Far, no good. Ball was almost knocked out of. There we go. Got the court length pass to Peyton Robinson, and she was able to put that one up. Van Far keeping it out on the perimeter. Looking for their chance to get it inside. They finally get it inside to Jael Jennings, and she draws the foul. That's a third foul on Josie Horn. Shot is up, and it's no good. It's pretty unusual. Van Far has been hitting a lot of their shots, and now we have Emma Flaster coming in for Josie Horn. Second shot is up, and it's no good. Tyra Henderson with the rebound. She's taking it up the court strong. Holds up about 30 feet out. They kick it around. Oh! Tyra Henderson with a last-second shot, and it did not fall in. But that is the end of the third quarter with the score, Elsberry 32, Van Far 21.
You know, the people pulling the strings are usually hard to reach in today's mega bank world, but here at People's Bank and Trust, you deal with the decision maker. At our community bank, which is what good banking relationships are all about, we all live and work right here. With us, you pull the strings. We're People's Bank and Trust. Troy, Hawk Point, Winfield, O'Fallon, Elsberry, and Bowling Green. Financial security right here at home. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
People's Bank and Trust knows that every minute of your day counts, so it's good to have a few time savers on your side. Take internet banking, for example. It allows you to bank from home rather than having to make an extra trip to the bank just to check your balance, transfer funds, or view recent transactions. You can even pay your bills online, eliminating a trip to the post office for stamps. Best of all, People's Bank and Trust offers all of this free of charge. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net and sign up today. Just another example of hometown banking the way it should be. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And we are back with Van Far controlling the ball on the outside. And that's being underneath to, who's that in for? That is Elise Jensen. She could not get the ball to drop, and Elsberry threw the ball away. So Van Far down by 11 points in the fourth quarter. Coming up the length of the court, and here's a 15-foot shot. Bounces around and does not go in, and the ball is stolen right out of Megan Hegemeyer's hand. And that was Jael Jennings put the ball up for 2 more points. Tess Weekly threw the ball right into Van Far's hands. There's a shot. A shot by Jael Jennings, and Megan Hegemeyer came up with that ball. And that pass was tipped. And then that pass was just thrown completely right to Van Far. And all of a sudden, Van Far is back within 7 points. There's Megan Hegemeyer. And the pass was over her head. She threw it back in right at Van Far. Everything going Van Far's way right now. Mainly because Elsberry's giving it to him. See what they're calling there, jump ball. I was afraid they're going to call Hegemeyer for a travel. And there's Hegemeyer and Flaster going out, and the Henderson twins coming in. Let's see if Tiny can get the ball up. Well, she passes it over to Tess Weekly. She takes a quick 15-foot jump shot from the free throw, and it's good. Back to a 9-point lead for Elsberry. There was the foul on Kylie Kinsler. That's her first of the night. She's played pretty clean. That puts Jael Jennings on the line for Van Far with 1-1. First one, nothing but net. Score is 34-26, 5:55 remaining in the regulation. Second shot up, and it's good. Timeout on the floor called by Van Far. Let's take a break.
Hey, hon, what are you doing up so early?
Oh, I'm just getting ready to take care of some stuff with the bank.
The bank? I surely hope you're going to get dressed first. You'd get some pretty weird luck showing up in your robe and fuzzy slippers.
I'm not going to the bank. I'm doing it all right here from home using People's Bank and Trust online banking and bill pay service. I can check our account balances, transfer money, make a loan payment, and even pay bills, all from the comfort of my pajamas. Best of all, it's free.
Banking in your pajamas. Now, if we could only get the grocery store to deliver.
Start banking online today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank and Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
And we are back for 5 minutes and 55 seconds in the regulation of this game. Score at this time, Elsberry 34, Van Far 27. Van Far is in the single bonus due to 17 fouls for Elsberry. Tess Weekly on the baseline gets it over to Kyle Kinsler. And her basket is up and good, and she draws the foul. That foul was on Jordan Garner. That's her 4th foul. Kinsler's shot is up and off the back of the rim and no good. Van Far with the ball on the outside. There's Haley Basket with the 10-foot shot. 2 points. Now here's Tiny Henderson. Takes it right to the half-court line and held it up. Now she's underneath, and her shot is good. There's a 3-point shot, no good. Another foul on Van Far away from the ball. That was on Haley Basket. That's her 3rd. So Kylie Kinsler has the ball out of bounds, gets it into Tess Weekly. Weekly holds up at the free throw line, puts it up 15-footer, and it's good. And that ball was knocked out by Tiny Henderson right into the arms of Elsberry. And Tess Weekly's going up and loses control, but gets it out to Tyra Henderson. Her shot is no good, and Van Far has the ball 2-on-2 coming down. Takes a 10-foot shot, no good. Van Far gets the rebound, puts it up, and it's no good. And Tyra Henderson made a very good play there, bouncing it off the leg of Van Far's Elise Jensen. And so Elsberry maintains the ball out of bounds. Kylie Kinsler to throw it in. She gets the ball into Weekly. And she's just holding it up out closer to the center circle. Gets the ball into Claire Henry, over to Kinsler. Oh, there was a little miscommunication, but Tiny Henderson came up with it. Now Tyra Henderson's driving in, and she is fouled. Shot was blocked, but she is fouled. Let's see who fouled her. They've got a couple of them in foul trouble. That was Jordan Garner. I believe that's her 5th. So, with 3:46 remaining in the game, Jordan Garner has fouled out. She's being replaced by Elise Jensen. So, Tyra's first shot is up, and it's no good. Second shot is up, and it's no good. And over the back call, I'm sure, is going to be on Claire Henry. That's her 4th, I think. That's right. That's her 4th foul with 3:46 remaining. So here comes Josie Horn in for Claire Henry. That's putting Jael Jennings on the line for Van Far. She's a very good free throw shooter. Shot is up, and it bounces in. Second shot is up, and it's good. 40-31. Again, a little over 3.5 minutes remaining. 9-point lead for Elsberry. Very tenuous 9-point lead. Tess Weekly carefully dribbling around. She doesn't want to waste any shots anytime. And there was a foul on Jael Jennings. That's her second foul, but it's still not enough to. No, it's not enough to put them on the line. I didn't think so. That's only 5 team fouls on Van Far. There's the pass into Tess Weekly from underneath, 2 points. 42-31. And that pass was right to Kylie Kinsler. And here goes Tiny in for 2 points. Van Far bringing it up again. 13-point lead for Elsberry. I believe that's the biggest lead of the night. And this is going to be an over and a back. Up. Tiny Henderson broke it up, but couldn't maintain it. And there was Jael Jennings doing what she does best, and that's controlling the ball and getting baskets. Here's Tyra coming up the court. Hands it off to her sister, Tanisha. They get the ball down deep to Josie Horn. Tried to pass it over to Tyra Henderson. And somehow it went to Van Far. I don't know if they called that a jump ball or not. Van Far just keeping it on the perimeter. They're having trouble getting it down deep. There's about a seven-foot shot and no good, but it comes right into the hands of Jael Jennings. There's a long pass there for Tiny. She just waits for him to get out of her way, and she puts it in for 2 points. Nothing at all fancy with what she does. She's not out there for show. Three-pointer, Van Far, and Tanisha Henderson comes up with the rebound and is attacked by Van Far. Gets the ball back out. Gets the ball back out to Tiny Henderson. But they called, I think they called 3 seconds in the lane. I'm not sure. So 1:19 remaining in the game, and Van Far is bringing it up the court. 46-33, 13-point lead for Elsberry. There's a long 2-point shot. No good, and Weekly comes up with the rebound. She was wanting to pass the length of the court, but held up. Megan Hagemeyer into Claire Henry. Her shot from underneath wouldn't go. And they called an out of bounds on Van Far, and it stays with Elsberry. Now here's Kelsey Flaster coming in for Tyra Henderson. I was going to say, she better get the ball in. They've only got 5 seconds. Now here's the ball with Kelsey Flaster. Over to Josie Horn, inside to Megan Hagemeyer, but that pass was broken up. Van Far has the ball. 30 seconds remaining in the game. And there was a foul on Kelsey Flaster. Going to be her first foul, but 22.2 seconds remaining in this game. 46-33, 13-point lead for Elsberry. This game is pretty much over. First shot is up, and it's good for Jael Jennings. That girl is one heck of a free throw shooter. Second shot is up. And it's good. 46-35, 11-point lead. Tess Weekly with the ball now. She's bringing it up faster than I thought she would. She gets across the timeline and holds it up. Now she's driving in, takes about a 12-foot shot. There is a long three-pointer there for Claire Henry. And the ball bounced up into the backboard with 3.9 seconds remaining. And this is going to be it right here. Final shot by Jael Jennings is no good. With that buzzer, that is a third-place victory buzzer for Elsberry. The Lady Indians of Elsberry have come out on top of this game 46-35. Better write that down while I'm thinking of it. This was a pretty hard-fought game. It really turned out the way I thought it would. And the PA system congratulating the Elsberry Lady Indians for their third-place victory in this tournament. I have to agree with them. They fought hard in this game, and they came out on top. And so now you're going to see them down there to get their third-place victory picture taken. Move in on them if I can find the button up here. Yeah, there we go. There's your third place team in the Clopton tournament, the 23rd annual Clopton tournament for the year 2019. There's a great looking group of girls there. Big smiles on their faces. So, with that, I'm not going to be calling the championship game here. They don't want me to be doing that one, so this is going to be it for me today. Tonight, whatever it is, it's 7:30 at night, so I guess this is tonight. But I will be back here tomorrow night. Well, let's just go over the girls' tournament again. What we have coming up here is Monroe City versus Clopton for the championship game coming up here in just a few minutes. And what we saw earlier tonight, or what I saw earlier tonight, was Silex defeating Louisiana for consolation. What you just saw was Elsberry defeating Van Far for third place. Coming up is Monroe City and Clopton for championship. And this ought to be a good game. I'm going to stick around and watch it. Now, tomorrow afternoon, we'll be back again. 4 o'clock, I won't be broadcasting this game, but at 4 o'clock will be the Clopton versus Louisiana on the boys' side for consolation. For third place, the game that I will be broadcasting is Winfield versus Elsberry for third place. And once again tomorrow night, it'll be Monroe City versus Van Far for first place. The game we're going to see is Winfield versus Elsberry. Elsberry has defeated Winfield already this season. So, again, that doesn't mean a thing. A lot of times teams will split, but we know that Elsberry can beat them. So, tomorrow night, join me for the 5:30 games, Saturday, January the 5th. Once again, at 5:30, join me for that game. I will be bringing it to you live. It can also be seen later on YouTube. Go to the Indian Sports Network button on the website of the Elsberry Democrat, and all of these games are available into perpetuity. That just means they're going to be here a long time. I don't know how to say the word. It's way too big for me. If there's more than 2 syllables, I don't know how to say it. So anyway, for the Indian Sports Network, brought to you by the Elsberry Democrat, this is Kenny Masterson saying good night from Clopton. Congratulations to the Elsberry Lady Indians for their third place victory in the 23rd annual Clopton tournament. Good night till tomorrow evening.